Hey guys, Lord Naren White here, the Holy Ghost, the one true God. Back with you with the next video in my Line of God's Daily Diary series. As usual, before I discuss what I have achieved since yesterday's Daily Diary video, I want to read you a chapter from the Bible. Today I will be continuing Hosea with Hosea chapter 2. Say unto your brethren Ami, and to your sisters Ruhamah, plead with your mother, plead, for she is not my wife, neither am I her husband. Let her therefore put away her whoredoms out of her sight, and her adulteries from between her breasts, lest I strip her naked, and set her in the day that she was born, and make her as a wilderness, and set her like a dry land, and slay her with thirst. And I will not have mercy upon her children, for they be the children of whoredoms. For their mother hath played the harlot, she that conceived them hath done shamefully, for she said, I will go after my lovers, that give me bread and my water, my wool and my flax, mine oil and my drink. Therefore, behold, I will hedge up thy way with thorns, and make a wall, that she shall not find her paths. And she shall follow after her lovers, but she shall not overtake them, and she shall seek them, but shall not find them. Then shall she say, I will go and return to my first husband, for then was it better with me than now. For she did not know that I gave her corn and wine and oil, and multiplied her silver and gold, which they prepared for Baal. Therefore will I return and take away my corn in the time thereof, and my wine in the season thereof, and will recover my wool and my flax given to cover her nakedness. And now will I cover her lewdness in the sight of her lovers, and none shall deliver her out of mine hand. I will also cause all her mirth to cease, her feast days, her new moons, and her Sabbaths, and all her solemn feasts. And I will destroy her vines and her fig trees, whereof she hath said, These are my rewards that my lovers have given me, and I will make them a forest, and the beasts of the field shall eat them. And I will visit upon her the days of Baalim, wherein she burned incense to them, and she decked herself with earrings and her jewels, and she went after her lovers, and forgat me, saith the Lord. Therefore, behold, I will allure her, and bring her into the wilderness, and speak comfortably unto her. And I will give her her vineyards from thence, and the valley of Achor for a door of hope. And she shall sing there, as in the days of her youth, and as in the day when she came up out of the land of Egypt. And it shall be at that day, saith the Lord, that thou shalt call me Ishi, and shalt call me no more Baali. For I will take away the names of Baalim out of her mouth, and they shall no more be remembered by their name. And in that day will I make a covenant for them with the beasts of the field, and with the fowls of heaven, and with the creeping things of the ground. And I will break the bow and the sword and the battle out of the earth, and will make them to lie down safely. And I will betroth thee unto me forever, yea, I will betroth thee unto me in righteousness and in judgment, and in loving kindness and in mercies. I will even betroth thee unto me in faithfulness, and thou shalt know the Lord. And it shall come to pass in that day, I will hear, saith the Lord, I will hear the heavens, and they shall hear the earth. And the earth shall hear the corn, and the wine, and the oil, and they shall hear Jezreel. And I will sow her unto me in the earth, and I will have mercy upon her that had not obtained mercy. And I will say to them which were not my people, Thou art my people, and they shall say, Thou art my God. The word of the Lord. Thanks be to God. What is fascinating to me about this chapter is this idea of God. Actually, I'd like to do a little bit of research on Hosea chapter 2. One of the most fascinating things to me about this idea of seeing how Jehovah speaks and the vision he has for his people is when he says here in Hosea 2:19 and 20. I want to read Hosea 2:19 and 20 because there were a lot of passages about adultery and this kind of stuff, like playing the harlot and children of adultery, things like that. The passage that is most interesting to me is Hosea 2 is 19 and 20, where it says, this is God Jehovah speaking. He speaks and says, I will betroth thee unto me forever. Once more. It reads, and I will betroth thee unto me forever. Yea, I will betroth thee unto me in righteousness and in judgment, and in loving kindness and in mercies. I will betroth thee unto me in faithfulness, and thou shalt know the Lord. So this is one of the things that I thought was very fascinating, is the way that this is. There have been many examples that I remember now from the time reading the Old Testament where God Jehovah talks about the idea of the Israelites, the people will call him like a husband. They'll call him like a husband, and that speaks to that idea of the loving relationship that God wanted with his believers. And when you talk about the church and you talk about Jesus Christ, it's well known when John says that the groom is coming, but the bridegroom is coming, but the friend of the bridegroom, he must decreaseth and Jesus must increaseth. Yeah, so it's very it's very powerful stuff in terms of Jesus Christ is the head of the church. He's the head of the body of the church. And the church is typically viewed as Christ's bride. And when we have that very famous passage at the end of Revelation, which reads as following. It's such a beautiful passage. It reads here, it says, I'll read here it is, in Revelation 22:17, and the Spirit, referring to, I believe myself, Lord Naren White, and the bride referring to the body of the church. So it reads, and the Spirit and the bride say, come, and let him that heareth say, come, and let him that is athirst come, and whosoever will let him take the water of life freely. So it's very beautiful. It's very beautiful stuff, and that's what was stood out to me in terms of was the way that God Jehovah says that he will betroth his people to him forever. And of course Jesus also, they viewed like God viewing themselves as a bridegroom. So as the Spirit of God, I see that, and of course I don't even have one believer to this day, so I don't necessarily know how to feel about that, as much as just to see the way that God views that relationship with his people, that he views himself as a groom, as a husband, as a king in that sense, and he views his people that he has that loving relationship with them from that perspective is definitely interesting to me, because it shows how much that God cares and loves his people. So that I'll go ahead and end the Bible reading there for today and transition over to what I have achieved since yesterday's Daily Diary video. Since yesterday's Daily Diary video, I worked my software developer job. I uploaded and scheduled yesterday's Daily Diary video for 4/28/24, and I have created, uploaded, and will schedule today's Daily Diary video for 4/29/24. And with no further achievements since yesterday's Daily Diary video, I want to go ahead and say thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed. Please like, comment, and subscribe, as it greatly helps the channel. Light be with you all. Take care, and thanks again.